Alrighty, Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'm in a video making mood today rather than a video watching mood. Uh, Interesting. Everybody is acknowledging a connection with astronomy and what happens on Earth. Where were you guys 2 years ago? Unbelievable. So yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Travis, what are you talking about? That's just weird stuff. So take a look. Anybody remember this? Flatten out my body so that you can read it. Yes, September 23rd, 2017, and Revelations. What? Ah. Evangelicals are all over Revelation. Every single time something happens in the heavens, they're like, that's the sign for the end of the world. There it is. We're all gonna die. And then Trump gets elected and it all stops. Yeah, what's going on with that, guys? Trump is the fulfillment of the signs. A partial fulfillment, actually. And not in the good way. It's the end of the world because of Trump. That's what I've been warning everybody about. And I don't know, do I want to redo how I figured it all out? But yeah, today is the longest day of the year. It's the winter solstice. And yeah, it happens to correspond on Friday, which is consistent with the Friday night news drop, or news dump, or whatever they call it. And today is going to be a biggie. The government's going to shut down today, and Congress ain't even going to bother to appease Trump, and they're just going to let it die. So the government will literally have the lights turned out on the darkest day of the year. Oh man, I warned you guys and you wouldn't listen. You're a fool. You're anti-American. You're a commie. You're a snowflake. We're not listening to you. Trump's the greatest president ever. He's making America great again. You guys are living check to check. How has he made America great again? He's protecting you from immigrant babies. Oh, those killer babies. Watch out. They don't even have enough money to pay for diapers. So, yeah. Just thought I'd let you guys know and rub it in your faces. I've known it all this time. I've been warning you all this time. And instead, you chose not to listen, not to make the connections until it's now too late. So, yeah. I've really got nothing else. I could tell you the story, but again, maybe the wording of this title video will attract your attention. But yeah, I went to the University of Lethbridge in Canada for my bachelor's and took biblical studies. And so they were not teaching us about creationism, although in my other split degree, philosophy of science, yes, they did teach about creationism and how it's a joke and can't be literally considered a theory as a result. It's just unsound, can't happen, forget about it. And so yeah, the two together, learning about the documentary hypothesis, because that was popular in that time period, and philosophy of science, all about how to make actual sound arguments and defeat unsound arguments in a debate argument thingy-majigger. And so yeah, we didn't evolve from monkeys because, you know, there's that missing link thing. They assume the link and call it a theory, and then they claim that they're testing, waiting until some archaeologist discovers the missing link. They're not going to find it. They can't do it. And now that we have DNA technology that we can manipulate DNA, we still can't merge animals with humans. We can't do it. We can put a pig heart into a human, but we can't change the DNA to be half human, half animal. It doesn't work. DNA is too separated to be able to make that happen. And so, yeah, there is no such thing as the evolutionary theory. There is evolution, but it's within family groups. Remember, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. And now they have subspecies and whatever else. Subspecies. That's a movie for a beast. But anyway, I think they call it species. I don't know. Yeah, I was educated in that field. And so I minored in Biblical Hebrew and Greek, the languages of the Bible. And I learned that they utilized the heavens to write their scripture. And they lived according to the movements of the heavens. And all of their mythology was based on the heavens and the movements of everything. And it corresponded with events that occurred on Earth as well. And if it didn't, they made sure that it did, because they wanted to make it happen. And so then that's the story of the old Assyrian king who asked his astrologers, is there a good omen to go to war against that country far in the east? And so, oh yeah, great, no problem, you can get them. So he goes, total solar eclipse. The king freaks, what's going on? You said everything was fine, look at that in the sky. And they all get murdered. And then the new set of astrologers come in and, oh, king, no, it's not for you, because you live further in the west where it didn't occur. This is in the east, so it has to do with this king that you're warring against. And the king goes, oh, wow. And so, yeah, that's a brief summary of it. There was more to it because the original priests tried to cover it up by saying, hey, why don't we get a dummy king to take your place, and then we'll murder him, and then you can go back to being king again. Okay. And so they murder an innocent guy. Ah, man. But yeah, they were very paranoid about seeing events in the heavens. And so, yeah, I knew all about that. And they didn't talk about lunar eclipses. They only talked about solar eclipses and other situations, but it was me who recognized lunar eclipses, because solar is for government, lunar is for religion. That's what I did. I tested the ancient beliefs to replicate them to see if they actually occurred. And so if sun is government, moon is religion, would a lunar eclipse indicate the death of a religious leader rather than the death of a king for a solar eclipse? And sure enough, 2007 comes around. And about a month before the lunar eclipse that occurred, a Mormon apostle who was in the first presidency, and so I think most of you who come to my site are familiar with the Mormons and know about either way, uh, if you're Mormon or not Mormon or ex-Mormon. So you know my videos are critical of the church. But I recognized, oh, okay, Elder Faust dies, then lunar eclipse happens. Huh, isn't that interesting? But wait, there's more, because the month after, a bigger name in religion also died. Gordon B. Hinckley, the president of the Mormon Church. And so I went, oh, wow, look at that. So that was cool. And then with the Olympics in Utah, 2002 Olympics, all 5 visible planets were in the heavens seen at the same time. And so that was cool. I was making that connection. All the worlds coming to Utah. All the planets gathering in the sky at the same time. See how it works? It's very simple. It's not demonic. You know, there's no, oh, Satan, we worship thee, we love thee. It's not going to change you on that. Come on. It's just a simple thing. Signs in the heavens corresponds with events on earth. That's simple. I don't cause it. It just happens. And I just sit and watch and go, wow, that's wild. I don't know how it works, but it works. And it doesn't happen for everybody, just specific people. And so I knew all about lunar eclipses and tying them to the deaths of prophets. So then I dared to stand up against Utah government abuse and was punished for my First Amendment rights. And after I got released 6 years later in 2014, anybody remember what happened starting in that year? Yes, the Blood Moon Tetrad. So the Blood Moon Tetrad happened on Jewish holidays. All 4 lunar eclipses for 2014, 2015 were on Jewish holidays. Passover and Tabernacles. And there was even a solar eclipse in between them in March, which was also on a Jewish holiday, a little lesser known holiday, but still a holiday. And and people were all freaking out, and this is the end of the world, this is the sign, the sun and the moon. And yes, it technically was the warning shot over the bow in preparation for the bigger ones to come. But the first one happened in April. I didn't know it was the start of a tetrad. And so I'm going to pause and be right back. All right. Okay, so, and so I was thinking, oh, wow, okay, a lunar eclipse. I'm wondering if that means another LDS church leader is going to die, or if it's going to be some other church this time. And it came and went, heard nothing. No deaths, no nothing. So I thought, oh, okay. I tried to repeat the theory test. It failed. I guess it doesn't work after all, or maybe there's something I'm missing. So I just went on with my life. And then comes the Tabernacles one. And, oh, a second one. Oh, wow. That is cool. Oh, man, this must be bigger than I realized. That explains why there wasn't one on the first one. That means we're going to have 2 people dying. But it came and went. Nothing. What's going on? I don't understand. And then I missed that it was a total solar eclipse in that March. So I didn't catch on to that until it was pointed out to me on a YouTube channel sometime after, long time after the tetrad had already occurred, and so yeah, I just thought, oh, well, all right, well, 2 strikes. Well, this theory isn't valid at all. It's been blown up in that situation. But then came number 3, and I went, what is going on? 3? And that's when they finally said, oh yeah, this is part of a tetrad, a rare tetrad. They don't happen all that often, and there's only been 8 since the time that Christians attribute to Jesus Christ, with 1 AD. And 5 had occurred after, it was 1600s or 1700s, somewhere around there. And so there was only 3 for at least 1,000 years. And then after that period, we've had 5. So rare occurrence, bigger now in our last days. And this one was the only one of the 8 that all of them were on Jewish holidays. And you know, this was just mind-boggling. Everybody was like, whoa, it's the end of the world, Jerusalem's gonna be destroyed. Turns out it's not Jerusalem. We'll get there, and 17 minutes already. And so I'm thinking, oh man, another one. Wait, what's the date? 4th of April, 2015, for the 3rd blood moon. And Mormons know about this date, don't you, Mormons? It was Saturday morning of the start of General Conference for the LDS Church. And wow, okay, now we have a physical situation on Earth tying to the signs in the heavens. I knew it was going to be big. And I was thinking, okay, is it going to be 3, or is it going to be a whole slaughtering of the leadership of the church? But I knew there was something to this, because the ancients already knew this and had already made the connections already. And so I was going, wow, this is like, dude, man, whoa. And I thought this was just incredible. And then conference comes, and nothing happens until the next month. And then it happened. Boom, 1 death. And then I think it was June, the 2nd death. And then right before the 4th tetrad was a 3rd death. All LDS prophets. So Packer, Scott, and I can never remember the 3rd one, but yeah, and I there it is. That was the interpretation of the heavens for the event on Earth. Because on the 3rd one, which occurred on the morning of the start of LDS General Conference, was the indication that God was going to take away 3 Mormon prophets. Come to find out that there was more to the story, and it has to do with this sign from John the Revelator. Because this sign could not have happened unless there were 3 additional planets who went in line with the sign in the heaven. So 3 planets were missing, 3 needed to be restored in order to meet the requirements of this sign. So yeah, when I found out about this, which was after the total solar eclipse over the whole United States, I knew. And now today is the darkest day of the year, as Trump has given up the United States to Putin, has given up other countries to Putin, and our stock market has crashed worse than the Great Depression. The stock market crash and total chaos, pandemonium. Oh man, I'm missing my laundry time. All right, so I'm ending. Watch the other video if you want to know more.